Well, good morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
We got all sorts of stuff. We'll get into some miscellaneous sports news, all sorts of stuff. Plus, we're going to welcome the usual Anthony, but he's got a special guest coming in. I'll just leave it to that. He's got a special guest coming in with him. And Bolt Brady at 8:30, which I want to see what he's thinking going into Game 6 tonight between the Thunder and the Spurs. Is the season over for the Spurs? Are we going to see a Game 7? We'll talk about that and help you make some money going into this game. Plus, you can call or text in anytime throughout the show at 661-842-2000.
Absolutely. There's a ton we can get into. We've missed a couple stories from the last couple days. We've got an update on the Josh Jacobs situation as he was released from jail yesterday amid the incredible amount of domestic charges that he's going to be dealing with, along with strangulation, intimidation of a victim. I hear he destroyed a lot of stuff during this situation. Apparently, this is all alleged, by the way. He is denying all of it and says all of it will come out in court. We will see.
And I wonder how Anthony's feeling about this.
Yeah, then we're definitely going to be getting his thoughts because he is a Packer fan. And I think he actually kind of called this a couple weeks ago because I know me and him were the first to have this conversation. Something always happens with the Packers when they get good. Something always happens. A player either gets in trouble or somebody gets hurt and is out for the entire season. There's always something that tends to derail the Packers' potential. And like we said yesterday, I'm a fan of Josh Jacobs, but this makes it really, really hard to be. And it really does suck when a lot of these guys show their true colors, as, we're learning. But there's a piece of me that does hope that he is telling the truth, that all of this is all being blown out of proportion. He didn't do the stuff that he's being claimed to have done. But I can only assume if he's being slapped with all of these charges, there's some truth to the matter. So we'll get into that at some point. Plus, the NBA has warned Victor Wembanyama to not skip media anymore. Well, fair. Every player has to deal with the media after the game. So no matter if you're upset or not, you should still show up there, Vic. But the league has come out and pretty much told him, if you do this again, there's going to be some penalties, big guy. Even though you're the star of the league, we're still going to have to slap you on the wrist. So we'll see what happens there. And we'll talk a little bit about that with Bolt Brady as well, get his thoughts on all of this. But we talk basketball a lot on this show. We usually start, especially now with the playoffs underway, we usually give you guys a rundown of what goes on in the game from last night. We didn't have one last night.
Was it just me, or was it just nothing on TV?
That's exactly what I was just about to say. I was like, it was a quiet house for me last night. And you know what? I even threw on playoff hockey. The Canadians were playing last night. Them and the Carolina Hurricanes were going at it. I wish I have been, following this a little bit closer. I apologize. Usually I do pay attention to the NHL playoffs, but this year I just haven't gotten a chance to. But yes, another blowout win. So that got boring real quick.
Like, okay.
So I sat there and said, do I need to go to bed early tonight? Is that what needs to happen? I need to be an early riser like Sparky and get up at 3 a.m. to get my stuff done? Like, nah, look. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I can't go to bed before 9, 10 o'clock. My body will not allow it. But in doing so, and me diving into a lot of the notes of what was happening in the last couple of days, there's a ton that we have missed that I want to go down. First and foremost, have we heard about this Will Levis story? The sex tape that apparently got released between him and his ex-girlfriend a couple months ago. I know, this is the best kept secret in the NFL, because I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently for the last half a year, Will Levis and his ex-girlfriend, oh God, I had her name here, but I can't remember right now. It's Duddy was the last name. Apparently there was a leak of a video of him a couple months ago of a scene between the two. And there's been some wild stories that have been coming from this, including his own mother going on a podcast and talking about this and explaining what's going on. Yes, that's why I had to pull the audio, Sparky, because I said, The last person that needs to be defending your tape here, bud, is your mama.
I saw the list. I was like, what is this?
I'm telling you, this is why I had to start with this, because I didn't even know this was a thing. This is the best kept secret in the NFL. Again, Will Levis, for those of you who have no idea who we're talking about, and honestly, rightfully so, the kid's career ended just about as quickly as it started. One-time starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. At one time was thought to be maybe their next best guy. Quickly learned that he was not. Although he did get a sponsorship from a couple mayonnaise companies. And the man is, he's successful in some area, I guess. The whitest man you know, for sure, in the NFL. Well, like I said, Will Levis has been dealing with something for the last couple months as an apparent, I say apparent, but a sex tape was leaked, as I said, of him and his girlfriend, Gia Duddy. Here it is. That's what I was looking for. Gia Duddy. No longer together. But the two have been scrounging the internet, trying to scrub every bit of this.
Yeah, good luck.
Let's hear from Mama. This is Beth Levis. She went on a podcast. I cannot remember the name of it. I should have written it down. I apologize. But it was a former NFL lineman's podcast. And she opened up about the entire situation and what the NFL quarterback has been going through. So let's hear from Beth real quick.
There was conjecture which compounded the anxiety and just the angst over everything that actually this video was leaked on purpose by my son or his girlfriend at the time, which was not the case at all. But, again, if you can imagine, if that's the storyline, how that made our family feel. So Will actually ended up engaging in hiring a cybersecurity specialist and private investigator and spent an exorbitant amount of money to try to get to the bottom of this. And through that, try to scrape, it's amazing that you can do this. I mean, it's crazy that these people are even available, but to try to scrape, what they could to make this go away. And ultimately, a lot of the content was taken down, but you can never scrape anything entirely from the internet. It's there forever. There is a footprint, unfortunately.
So I bring this story up because in this next bite, you're going to hear Mrs. Levis explain who did this, how it actually went down, and when they were able to pull this video from whatever piece of technology that Will and his girlfriend took it on. But I think you said it perfectly, Sparky. One, it's already out there on the internet, unfortunately. And I guarantee you there's somebody that's got a copy of it, even though they really shouldn't. But it's just the internet. That's how things roll. But let's hear from the mom real quick. This is who she claims they found out did it. And this is why I want to bring this up, because I want to pose a question to you, my friend, that maybe athletes need to start doing what Will's doing and hiring cybersecurity teams 24/7. So let's hear from Miss Levis one more time.
We did find out that actually this content was stolen, and his private either laptop or digital platform, phone, whatever, was actually breached and invaded a year or two earlier when he was in college. And we come to find out this was a Eastern European hacking group that is notorious for trying to target what they think might be an attractive couple that they can then expose and make do what they do for.
Look, man, the easiest answer to all of this is don't make the tape. If you're an athlete, if you're of any relevance at all in the world, leave the cameras out of the bedroom. It's that simple. But obviously, everybody likes to have their fun. Some people have their thing. And this is a situation that Will really shouldn't have had to deal with. Like, these types of people are deplorable. The ones that actually do hack into your stuff, whether it was an Eastern European hacker group like she's claiming, or if they just made a mistake and somebody, uploaded it, we'll never really know. I scratch my head because now I'm wondering, okay, well, if this is true and what she's saying is true, and there's an Eastern European hacking group that targets athletes and popular people to release these videos and, have them pay them to have them removed, which, again, if you've been scammed on the internet, that sounds about right. That sounds pretty much how most of these things go. if that's the case, should all athletes be wondering about this? Should all athletes really be looking at their phones and saying, I got a couple that I need to delete right now?
Probably everybody.
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Not even just athletes, just anyone that records themselves
Yeah.
in that type of form, or just stand behind it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the other thing is you can double down on this. We've seen
go ahead.
OnlyFans people make thousands upon thousands of dollars off the back of stuff like
We've
this.
seen wrestlers, we've seen all sorts of people.
Oh man, they're one of my favorite female wrestlers right now is doing not. I don't know if she's actually doing that kind of content, but she is on OnlyFans, like posting her modeling stuff for sure. But that's what I point. Like you can either double down on it or you can go get cybersecurity. But is this a problem that we're going to be seeing arise more than we think? Because this is Will Levis. I mean, again,
who?
Exactly. I mean, a guy who at one point sure was popular. But if this really was some group that targets very popular athletes and people online and does this kind of a thing, why are they targeting Will Levis?
Right.
Like I would assume you would go after other athletes first. Oh, I don't know, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, anybody that's
what's
of relevance.
Next? Mason Rudolph,
right? I mean, I see what they're trying to do. And again, I'm not saying that the Levis family is lying about this. That's not what I'm trying to say. So don't take my words out of context here. But what I'm saying is if they are attacking somebody of Will Levis's area, should everybody else be worried about this? Because if this is a group that's actually doing that, I would assume they're hacking into other people's phones as well. I highly doubt it was just some college kid that Will Levis went to college with. And then when he went back to his college just to say hi one day, they found his phone, found the video and said, oh, I'm releasing this.
we got it.
I doubt that's the case. But when I heard her come out on yesterday on this podcast and explain all this, I said, wait. First off, there was a video. Didn't even know there was a video. You're the only person that I've ever met, or I shouldn't even say met. This is the only athlete I've ever seen have a sex tape released and no one knew about it. But two, if this is so serious, we talk about it all the time, how these guys are being targeted for their houses being burglarized, how these groups are really focusing in on athletes and how they can make money off of them in whatever facet they can, business or not. So is this a serious thing that athletes are going to have to protect themselves from here in the next 5 to 10 years? Because if they're attacking Will Levis, I'm telling you, if this group is real, they're going to hit somebody big eventually. Or at least you would think. That's their plan, right?
Cybersecurity is always going to be an issue.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't know. I mean, we don't know enough info about this Eastern
European
group. But I mean, I just think it's really with anyone, keep your security.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh. But the minute she said that, I was like, an Eastern European group.
I immediately thought that the ex-girlfriend.
That's the first I thought, is that you angered the ex and the ex released it to get back at you. That happens more often than not. It happens to people in real life all the time. But again, I'm not going to sit here and point blame if they did pour all of this money into cybersecurity, into an investigator to figure out who did this. And this is what Will came up with and his investigators. And they hopefully successfully, scraped the internet of all of this, or at least the easy access stuff.
And then this was a college video,
I guess. I mean, again,
so maybe they were expecting him to be bigger than he was.
Maybe. And that's kind of the thing. Because again, this happened months ago.
Yeah.
The release of this video happened months ago. I'm just realizing or hearing of this now. And I know a couple people who are in the same boat as me. But again, if this is a serious problem, and again, I take an Eastern European hacking group that's notorious for this, as she says, as a serious problem. And if it is that serious and these things do happen, I'm telling you, NFL players, MLB players, or NBA players, I'd be worried. I mean, we've seen Trevor Bauer lose his entire career over this kind of stuff being released without his knowledge and him being damned for it. Let's all be honest. But this is just wild to me. I saw this story and I had to play the mom's audio because I said, one, I had no idea this even happened, but two,
Why is your mom?
why is your mom coming out and defending you? Exactly. Why is mom having to be the one to explain how all this went down and what you had to do to, scrub the internet of this video?
I mean, I know Will Levis isn't that busy right now.
No, he's not. But that's also why I'm confused. I'm like,
Hey, Mom, can you do this podcast interview for me?
yeah, why is the podcast? And again,
talk about what, sweetheart?
former NFL lineman. I need to look up the actual name of the podcast, and I'll have it when we come back from break. But a former NFL lineman's podcast. I would assume someone who knows Will Levis. How else would you have gotten Beth
Titans
Levis?
old lineman or something.
Right. Otherwise, how are you talking to his mama? And why are you talking to his mama?
Filling time.
I guess.
I was thinking I want to hear the audio of the awkward conversation of him. Hey, Mom, can you do this interview for me?
Well, and now people are wondering if this didn't tie into why Will kind of crashed and burned. Because if this did come out a couple months ago, potentially maybe even a year ago before Cam Ward got there.
Yeah, usually those are types of videos that get dropped draft night.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is if this did tie into Will kind of crashing and burning in his career and all of that, and all the distractions were obviously what led to him being in his own head too much. I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't deserve some of the grief for his play because he was awful. He was god awful at the quarterback position. But this is a serious thing, man. Like, again, I don't mean to laugh or make jokes about it, but if this is true and there really is a Eastern European group that's notorious for this, as Beth Levis has said, I would assume they have other videos. I would assume that they've done this to other athletes.
We were sitting on this one. We're like, oh, please, good. I hope he's good.
Right. And then
he's crashed out. Let's just release it.
Right. But that's the other thing, too, is why release it? If it's not going to make you profit, why release it at all? Again, there's some things about this that just I am left scratching my head wondering what is true and what isn't. Because
where's the ex-girlfriend's parents?
That's the other thing, too, is what's the ex-girlfriend have to say about this? Because we haven't heard much from that side of it. We've heard all the Levis side. I just, like you, Spark, I initially was thinking the girlfriend had it.
It gave me more questions than anything.
So if we get an update, we'll potentially give it to you. But as it sits right now, it seems like the Levis family has been able to scrub the majority of this video from the internet, unless you want to go out and find it yourself. If you do, you sick little moo cows.
Don't do it at work computer.
Nope, do not do it on the work computer. Exactly. But again, if you're out there, and as Sparky said, maybe it's not just athletes that should be worrying about this. If there's an Eastern European group right now that's hacking into Apple products and other phones and finding your videos, just leave the videos out of the bedroom. Come on, man. How often do you really go back and watch those anyway? Be honest with yourself. Let's take a break real quick, my friend. We'll get to the update of Josh Jacobs on the other side, as well as
you're
some
going to
other
go to the
things.
totally opposite.
I mean, yeah. It's in the NFL, though, so it's somewhat the same. Plus, we'll get into Victor Wembanyama being warned that he can no longer miss the media after games. Plus, there's a whole ton of other things we can get to. The MLBPA has also given its first proposal for the upcoming collective bargaining negotiations. So
let it get started.
Look, man, we've talked about it. A lockout could be looming, but if they could find out some sort of deal, just like the referees did with the NFL at the upteenth hour, I think every baseball fan will be happy with that as well. So we'll get into that and a whole ton of others. Plus, we have some guests that'll be coming in the 8 o'clock hour. Anthony Jauregui of The Well will be here at 8. And Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro at the BLEAV Network will be here at 8:30. Help you win some money on this Game 6 between the Thunder and the Spurs. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM.
Our guy Jauregui is in the parking lot,
Of course he is.
and I know he's searching for that video.
Man, he might as well at this point. He's going to be there for another half an hour. Love you, Anthony.
I'll let you in.
Anthony. He could have came in at 7 o'clock. He was probably here when we started the show.
He could have very well been in.
Oh, no, it's his nap time, man. We got to let him have his power nap before the show. Come on now. Real quick, let's shift over to the other jailbird, unfortunately, in the NFL at the moment. Josh Jacobs. He was released from jail, actually, yesterday. He is still facing charges from I apologize, I had the county in front of here and I lost it. The Hobart Lawrence Police Department has charged him with battery, domestic abuse, and criminal charges of property, or criminal damage to property. I apologize.
It's his own stuff.
Domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, strangulation and suffocation, and the intimidation of a victim. And you're right, Sparky. That's his own stuff. I didn't even realize you can get sued or you can get thrown in jail for breaking your own stuff now. That's wild. But this is damning for Josh in his career. It really is. Again, he's had a single run-in from what we understand in 2021 with the DUI when he played for Vegas. And now there's this. But this obviously takes it to a whole different level. And as we said at the top of the show and yesterday, God, I hope he's not a secret POS because I am a fan of this dude. But at the same time, when you have this many counts against you, multiple battery charges, multiple domestic abuse charges, disorderly conduct, and there's still nothing in here about a toxicology. If he was high or drunk, we don't even know. Not that that's an excuse, but still.
I'm just hoping it's just some crazy girlfriend and...
Which, I mean, again,
I've had him.
The Tyreek Hill situation could kind of show you that because, again, as much of a head case as he is off the field, the people he keeps around him aren't exactly the most sane people either.
Our first listener said, what did she do?
Well, and again,
I was like, damn.
That's why it's all alleged. Josh and his corner have all said, this is all blown out of proportion. It's not true, and it's going to be shown in court. And there's a piece of me that hopes that's the truth. Really does. But there's also been story after story after story after story from NFL players where we kind of hoped the same thing, and unfortunately, the other side of the coin was shown. And if you're a Green Bay Packer or a Green Bay Packer fan at the moment, now you're wondering who the heck's going to be your running back in general, because the only two that are on the roster right now are a 3-year vet who's barely ever seen the field and a guy who's rarely ever seen the field. You'd have to go out there and sign an Austin Eckler or one of these guys that's still looking for a job. Or maybe, I don't know, I've heard a lot of people say call the Arizona Cardinals because obviously they don't care to keep Tyler Algier as the number 1 running back. So why not go and knock on their door, which actually is not a bad idea. But again, as it sits right now, we're waiting for just more information on this Josh Jacobs case. Here's Ian Rappaport. He went on Pat McAfee yesterday and gave us a little bit of information that we didn't know initially and the most recent update on this story.
Some very interesting updates. I actually start with the one that came from the Brown County District Attorney. So yesterday, obviously, after 3 days, this incident started on Saturday. So 3 days, 4 days, whatever that is, till yesterday. He gets arrested, 5 charges, including strangulation, including a accusation of assault, domestic violence. And so he is in jail yesterday. Today, he is released from jail in a new statement from the Brown County District Attorney saying their standard for charging Josh Jacobs is essentially different from that which led to him being arrested. Basically, there's a higher bar for them if they are going to fully charge him and prosecute this case. They are awaiting more information and essentially more evidence before they move forward on charges or not, right? So Josh Jacobs has been released from jail today. A new statement from his lawyers just now to me, David Chesnoff and Richard Schoenfeld, along with Clarence Stucci. There you go. That's my statement right there. They are pleased that Josh has been released from custody and that no criminal charges have been filed. They continue to encourage everyone to keep an open mind. They remain confident that once all the evidence is gathered, it will confirm no charges going forward. Now, obviously, Josh Jacobs' lawyers have expressed extreme confidence in him not being charged and have urged everyone to be patient before making a decision on what this is. This would sort of speak to that. So Josh Jacobs released as of now.
Here's my problem with that. It doesn't matter if he's charged. It doesn't. Unless we see full proof that this isn't what we all think it is, he's going to be a POS to everybody. It doesn't matter. People don't look for if you got charged with something. They look if you got accused of something. Unfortunate, it is. Because really, it should be the opposite. It should be if you were not charged with something that you are not guilty of it, so you shouldn't be thrown. That shouldn't be thrown on you.
That's what we've talked about for months. I mean, when these
Right.
stories pop up, which comes up a lot, is it used to be innocent until proven guilty, and
Right.
these days
Now
it's the opposite.
Yeah, which is wrong. I'm not sitting here saying this is something that we should all abide by, but that is society today. We are a give it to me now society. And unfortunate for Josh, whether he gets charged for this or not, doesn't really matter. You have lost the public. So unless we hear that, like Sparky said, crazy girlfriend that's just claiming all of this, none of it actually happened, and Josh is being blamed for all of it, and we see some proof of that, then everybody will just forget it ever happened. But the court of public opinion will not be swayed whether he gets charged or not. It's unfortunate, but that's just how life is these days.
The majority of people I know have just been, well, is he still going to be playing football?
Right.
Is he going to be on my
That's gonna be the
fantasy
big
team?
question. If he doesn't get charged, I don't see the NFL keeping him from a football field.
Right.
Maybe slapping a suspension on him, sure, because obviously the Shield doesn't need this kind of PR. But
Or they let the team handle it.
yes, that's true too. But again, that could also come with the suspension. The team could also look at him and say, we're not going to let you play for the first 3 weeks just because. And then everybody says, okay, at least they punished him for it. But at the same time, there's no telling that if there is proof that comes out that he did do this and the charges do get slapped on him, then you'll never see him again on a football field. There's no way. So that's really the crux of everything right now is the world needs to see the proof. We need to see what happened. And I agree with them. Nobody should make, rash judgments based on what they've heard so far. We only know a part of it. The court of public opinion has already spoken. And unfortunately, Josh is not in the favorable side. Now, as a fan of the guy on the football field, I hope we see him on the football field again. I really do. Josh Jacobs is one of the most exciting running backs to watch, in my opinion. I love his running style. But you can't ignore this. You cannot ignore this. And that's why I'm saying the NFL usually does a pretty good job at staying out of it until the actual court system does something.
They have to. And I mean, this is not the first player this offseason that we've dealt with.
No.
With, any type of domestic abuse, with the Falcons one, it might go in this route in a month where no files are charged and we don't even talk about it again.
Yeah.
But it'll be more of our football viewers that will just remember him every time he scores a touchdown or every time something happens.
Or if someone brings it up on a YouTube video.
Exactly. Or if something happens in the future again.
But that's my point is that's the court of public opinion part. It is true. The commentators will never talk about it because they don't need, or the NFL doesn't need people bringing up that kind of stuff. But the media will.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be one or the other. It's either he'll get in trouble, he'll get popped, and he probably won't play football again, or it just disappears and the files don't ever go anywhere and we don't talk about it.
It's a weird situation. The fan in me hopes that we see him on a football field again and he's telling the truth and all of this is just blown out of proportion and potentially a crazy ex or baby mama or whoever called in on him. But I'm afraid the court of public opinion is going to stand too strong on this. I really do. Now, is that going to affect the NFL? No, they don't care. They don't give a damn about what the fans think. They really don't. I mean, like you just said, Spark, we've seen players turn around in a year and have ridiculous comebacks. Shoot, the Browns right now are considering starting Deshaun Watson.
I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's had it multiple times.
Exactly.
And now
So,
when you think of Tyreek Hill, that's not the first thing you think of.
for the football fans out there that are wondering, his career, not necessarily in jeopardy yet. But if the charges get slapped on him, wouldn't be surprised. But if he does get away with no charges, as we just heard Mr. Rappaport say, and as the district attorneys have said, there are no charges being filed at the moment. So his career seems to be fine for now. I just hope that that's going to continue to be the case. And we'll get the thoughts of a Packer fan here at 8 o'clock because Anthony Jauregui will be joining us. And I know he's probably got some stuff to say about this. So we'll wait to continue to talk about that until we get him in here. But for you tennis fans out there as well, since Anthony will be joining us 8 o'clock, we had a major collapse this morning at the French Open. And I know most of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but Jannik Sinner just went down. The number one player in tennis just lost to a non-ranked player at the French Open. And it was so drastic. Jannik lost 18 of the last 20 points. 18 of the last 20. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, remember the collapse that Orlando had a few weeks ago in the playoffs where it looked like they were about to wrap up the series against Detroit and they couldn't make a basket in the second half? Yeah, that's a pretty close comparison. Losing 18 of the last 20 points of a tennis match is unheard of, especially from a number one seed. That is wild. So if you're a tennis fan and you're not watching the French Open, I highly suggest you do because that bracket just got busted wide open with Jannik Sinner not being a part of it. And then one final story here before we move on to a break and get to our last segment. You know what? Let's jump over to the NBA and let's hear from Adam Silver. He was also on Pat McAfee yesterday. And obviously, everybody has been really focusing on the flopping issues when it comes to the Thunder, their ability to draw fouls. I mean, I've got 2 bites here from former players that can go either way. We'll hear from them after the break. But obviously, McAfee had to bring it up. Pat had to bring it up. What's going on with the flopping? Are you telling the referees to, allow this kind of stuff? So this is Adam Silver's answer to everybody's gripes when it comes to the flopping in the NBA.
How about the flopping? Flopping. Big conversation, Mr. Commissioner.
So, yeah, it's been a conversation. I would only say that there's a difference between selling a call, exaggeration, and a true flop, which is where you're actually fooling the referees. I think sometimes even as I sit in the stands at games, players may be falling down, players may be reacting to a call, but then to me, if they're not fooling the referees, it's like, okay, that's like the players are taught to sell calls these days. I mean, can officiating get bad? Can officiating get better? Of course. We're always working on that. Can officials get fooled occasionally? We're always looking at that as well. But the officiating is incredible. I will also add one other piece to it because I know there's always controversy around certain calls. There's one you were talking about on your show earlier today. And I think in terms of replay, I think we're going to get to the point fairly quickly where, for example, out of bounds, the very play that you were talking about.
Chet Holmgren's foot, it's big deal.
Yeah. And I think where, just like, if you're a tennis fan and they have what they call Hawkeye, and it's like the animation, and you quickly see, where the line was and the oohs and ahs of the crowd, it touched the line or it was out of bounds. We're going to move to a system like that where that whole category of calls will be automatic, where, it's going to be, Laker ball, Nick ball, whatever it is, Thunder ball, those calls will be done by an AI automated system with cameras lined around the court. And it'll take all of those so-called objective calls out of the hands of the referees. It'll be instantaneous. It'll be automatic. Just play on, let's go, Spurs inbound, and you'll move on. You won't have to deal with challenges on those calls, but it'll also now allow the officials on the more difficult subjective calls to give their full attention to those where, because there's often contact on every play. It doesn't mean there's a foul, and they're trying to measure sort of whether that contact is impeding the player, how hard that contact is. It's something that can't just be done on camera. They're actually feeling the contact because they're there on the floor with the players. So anyway, I think there is a technology will really be helpful here.
Oh, Adam, that's a lot to bite off.
I don't like the
and
guy.
chew. So
And he danced around the question.
yes, he did. And first and foremost, robotic umpires,
It's coming.
robotic referees in basketball. It's coming. He just told you right now. It is coming.
Yeah, every answer to every problem was
Sorry, go.
it was all robots. But he danced around the question,
He
so
did.
I didn't get
He
anything out of
absolutely
it.
did. My issue with it, though, is you're sitting there telling us, well, there's a difference between flopping and, selling a call and blah, blah, blah. No, there's not. It's all the same thing, first and foremost. Secondly, you're going to sit and tell us that the referees are doing an incredible job. The officials are doing an incredible job. But we're taking that away from them. We're taking the power away from it. We're going to have AI handle all that for them because they're too stupid to really understand what the difference is. And they're the ones that are being fooled by these stars all the time. They're being fooled. So we have to take that away and we have to do something. Dude, really?
Taking away the human touch.
And you're going to sit there and tell me that an AI is going to be able to dictate between selling a call, quote unquote, and a flop? No, it's not. No, it's not. I want America and the rest of the world to understand something. The only thing that AI can do, the only thing it can understand is what you program it to understand. Ergo, what your brain dictates as a flop is what the AI is going to dictate as a flop. So you cannot sit there and tell me that technology is the answer to fixing the flopping problem. It's not. Let's take a break real quick. We'll hear from Tyrese Halliburton and from Kendrick Perkins. Tyrese went on the McAfee show and explained that flopping is becoming more of an integral part of the game than people realize. And Kendrick Perkins, albeit I don't agree with the guy all the time, but I did agree with his take on this because I've been saying it for years, but this isn't new. I'm so tired of everybody sitting there saying flopping is here because of LeBron. LeBron started this. Flopping's been in the league for years, man. It's been here. So let's take a break. We'll hear from the former players of the NBA when it comes to this, and we'll get our final thoughts on the whole flopping situation and the problems that the NBA is having. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
No touchy. No
Oh. Welcome back. Early bird special on KGEO Sports Talk. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch if you want to watch the video. We're live every single day from 7 to 9. And don't worry, if you missed any of the episodes, you can go back to our YouTube page and watch every single interview that we've ever done is all up there. I should say every single one, but most of our special guests are up there. All the major interviews, including past wrestling segments with our guy KG. If you missed any of our talks with Rick Bentley, those are also up there. And every comedian that we've talked to or special guest has definitely been uploaded to the YouTube page. I promise
we
you
have
that.
some big news that we're gonna let you guys know very, very soon. We've got some big guests coming.
All I could say is you better be paying attention to our stream this weekend at Clash in Italy. That's all I could say. If you are curious who's going to be joining us, especially if you're a wrestling fan
For sure,
you need to watch our stream this weekend. You'll join myself, Sparky, and KG. We'll be giving our live reactions to Clash in Italy. I don't think we could show the video, unfortunately. So if you're trying to piggyback, that's not going to be able to happen. But we would love to have you guys there. We'd love to react with you guys and hear everybody's thoughts on the PLE as we go. And if you're very curious as to know who we're going to be talking to from the WWE, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. Maybe we'll drop a couple hints on there. Real quick, though, we heard from Adam Silver when it comes to the flopping issues and his dancing around the question because he doesn't have a real answer. Let's be honest.
he sucks.
He has no idea how to fix the flopping issues. He really has no clue. His answer is, well, we're going to make AI do it. AI is not going to save you, Adam. I'm sorry. And in fact, it's gotten to a point now where former player, or I shouldn't say former player, NBA player Tyrese Halliburton, I say former because he hasn't played this last year due to an injury, Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton has come out and said, this is deeper than people realize. Let's hear from Tyrese.
Are coaches teaching the embellishment or the flopping or however you want to talk about it based on what Commissioner Silver said and trying to fool the refs? How do you feel about it? And are coaches teaching it these days?
Yeah, for sure. It's being taught. I don't think it's as much head coach teaching as much as it is like player development. Even before you get to the NBA, it's just something that you kind of work on by nature. I think the best scorers are the best, usually the guys who get to the free throw line the most. So it's definitely something they work on. Even in pickup, they're working on how they can draw fouls, things like that. Like, I think that's a part of the game. I think it's interesting here.
Tyrese, no.
Wait.
This is the future of
Can I say
sport.
Can I say something?
Please.
I think he made a great point about embellishing calls versus, fooling a referee, because I am under the impression, I mean, obviously you guys are NFL guys, but I think we have the best officials in sports. Like, I believe that, especially when you go play like in the Olympics or in FIBA or something, you're like, damn, like every time I go do that, I get back, I'm like, I go to the rest, like, hey, I missed you guys. You guys are awesome. So I think like they're really good at what they do. The refs are. So I think more times than not, there's embellishing going on more so than just like falling over out of nowhere. But does it happen? Of course it happens, and it's talked about, no question.
Yeah.
If you've never played basketball, trust me, this has been a thing since I've been playing basketball when I was a young boy. They taught us very early, especially when it came to taking charges. Sell the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah. We taught the same thing.
So I'm not denying that embellishing calls isn't happening in the NBA. That has been a thing since, well, probably before most people listening to my voice even know. So let's stop saying LeBron started this. Let's stop blaming certain stars. Are there certain stars that do it more than others? Hell yes. And is it annoying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm one of the people that would say the LeBron, but I know it was happening before then.
Yes.
And there's a difference between flopping, adjusting your game to get the fouls,
Yes.
and completely just flopping.
Now, the thing that I'm not here for is what Tyrese Halliburton said, which is it's part of player development. Now, I understand that is part of the game and people need to get used to it. But for it to be part of player development, that means that you're teaching a kid you could score 30 if you could shoot from the free throw line 20 times. And that may be true. But not everybody's going to be getting those calls. And then you're going to have a string of basketball players who all think they are God's gift to earth because they get to the free throw line so much. They get to the NBA, they're no longer the star that gets those calls, and now they have no offense altogether. And we have more flops. And we have more, well, not the flop that I'm referring to either. More duds, let's put it that way. More busts. More players who really aren't the real deal. You know how I was talking about analytic guys compared to basketball-minded guys when it comes to coaching? Same thing here with players. So I'm not crazy about it being part of player development. Does it surprise me that certain coaches are coaching it and teaching it? Not at all. But one last player here, Kendrick Perkins, this one former NBA player. This was right before game 3 of the Thunder and Spurs. So this was over the weekend, but I had to pull the audio because, again, it's something that we've talked about here. But he makes a brilliant point when it comes to this flopping thing, which is stars have been doing it forever. Let's hear from Perkins real quick.
Jokic flops all the time. Luka flops.
Luka would be the only one.
Luka flops all the time.
Is Luka going to be in the top 15, top 20 greatest player of all time?
Hold on. I sat back. I kept a cool booty, and I let you speak your piece.
You heard that line.
No, that's my line that I brought to this studio. Okay. So that's number one. Okay. Number two, here's the thing that I'm gonna tell you, Jay, is you would have an argument if this man wasn't one of the most efficient scorers this game has ever seen. We do know that he just entered or joined the company of Michael Jeffrey Jordan again. 4 consecutive seasons of averaging 30, shooting over 50% from the field. Now, when you talk about complaining to the refs, let me tell you this. The Thunder are they dead last in the league when it comes to getting technical fouls. They don't complain. They get back in transition. So you mean to tell me that Kobe Bryant didn't sell calls? You mean to tell me that Michael Jordan didn't sell calls? Paul Pierce sold calls. I played with Paul Pierce. When he struggled, he used to come to the sideline and say, I'm going to get to the free throw line.
That's all they've done for years. So can we get off SGA already? And he made a brilliant point. This guy's still one of the most efficient scorers in basketball. So no matter how much foul baiting you guys think it is, it's really not. Let's take a break. We'll get to our guests, and then we'll get to a little bit more of this on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM.
I feel like Trevor Travis in this corner. What's up, guys? Here I am for Major Laugh Mondays.
I was about to make a joke.
And I have a guest over here, and his name is Andrew Ida. Is my good bud.
I was wondering here because right before we went on air, the two of them were like 6 feet apart and wouldn't get any closer. So I was like, there's got to be a little animosity.
No way. Not with these guys.
Thing no, I'm just sleepy.
Well, Howdeggy hasn't taken a shower yet.
Yeah.
We all know that. Good morning, boys.
There we go.
Anthony Howdeggy and Andrew Idell are
Hey,
here.
get off, Anthony.
Yeah, get off my
Come
job,
on.
bitch.
That's my Theo, man.
Yeah, that's my. I love. We Sparky and I have, and I'm not even bring it up. I'll bring it up, but Sparky and I have been messaging for a while now, and ever since I brought up Theo and Spencer, he's been messaging me and calling me Theo and saying Spencer. So
this is what happens when you bring in the white boy to the culture.
Serio.
You're invited to the East Side barbecue, dog.
There you go.
No way. Been there, done that. Not going back.
No.
Oh
man, that must not have been good food then. That's
why are you not going back? What happened? Did you have one too many
Jacked on my
Friolis?
stomach. Yeah, I can't do it.
What's up with you, white boys and soft stuff?
Don't you say you white boys. I love hot food. Don't put me in that corner.
We're not built for it, Sparky.
No, I mean I like hot wings, but yeah, I get up too early and I don't want to spend the first hour on the toilet.
No, that's true.
I still eat the stuff. I'll go get a hot Cheeto burrito every once in a while, but I'll feel terrible for like 2 days.
Livia's burritos are always fantastic. That's always a good call.
You go and ask for a specific amount of hot Cheetos. Can I only have 3 hot Cheetos in the burrito?
You gave me 5 last time, and that was a real problem.
Yeah, I can have 4.5.
Oh, well, let's get to the nitty gritty, boys.
Yeah, I'm super glad you guys brought me in to celebrate my victory in the weekday show last week. Thank you so much.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
That's funny.
Did you?
I did. I won the weekday show.
He was the.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you not the commenter? Right? Wasn't that what it was?
No, it was. I was joking, but it was a competition with 20 comics.
Couldn't tell.
I won $30. I won
Nice.
$30. So
that's not bad.
Hey, you owe me gas money for a couple weeks ago, actually. Yeah, it is more than I won. Thank you for bringing that up. I actually got second on the weekday show, and Idell got first. So
okay.
You guys missed out a couple open mic bombs. So
that's unfortunate. But you guys also went up against each other at the roast battle on Sunday.
Oh, we did. Wow,
well, how did it go?
Well, Andrew, how did it go?
It was a great show. And
we had a good time.
He's got that radio voice. He's got it.
100%.
No, just because he knows what a mic prophylactic is, all of a sudden.
See, I wasn't taking shots. I was just proving how old I was.
I realized what it was after I Googled it. I was like, oh, he's just, that's what it is.
I was talking about The Price is Right. And Bob Barker used to have that thin mic with the big microphone cover.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that's the best at Amazon. $16 on Prime shipping.
Hey,
okay.
Buy one, get one free. I know all about it. I got a studio at home that's filled with those buy one, get one free, whatever I could get in my cart.
You work
under
at radio
20 bucks.
long enough, you look for those type of things.
Radio store coupons probably went right over their heads.
Oh,
it's
100%.
Radios,
100%. I have to ask the question, though, who won out of the two of you? Who do you think won?
He won.
Who do you think won?
Oh, wow.
There was the results of the battle. I
don't know.
No, it's
people listening may not know they weren't there.
People don't listening, but I know you guys got people texting you being like, I know I got free tickets, but Andrew was my favorite.
Yeah, it's a very
whoever said if I see you at the club,
he did. That was quick.
If I listened to it again this morning and yesterday, I was like, oh hell no.
We did get multiple texts.
Multiple
Was
it a
that
group text?
It was a multiple. It was 3 different numbers that said Andrew should have won
happy that he's
sounds
not
like you have some racist listeners. Okay, now I
Hey,
know
it's Bakersfield. You can't run from them.
How am I the one who
you
lost?
welcome them.
I'm the one who lost, and he's in here trying to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, out of either of the two of you that'd be irate about this, it should be you.
No, I feel great.
Hey.
I think a lot of people would look at me and they project how they would react if they lost onto me because they're losers who are weak people. And
You're calling your fans weak people?
No, not them. They didn't say I hope
his
Andrew's
ride or
okay.
die fans love
Like
him. Okay.
I had a comic after the show was like, he goes, you win one roast and you think you can go up against a past comic? Yeah, I do. I do think that.
Was that Eddie Molina?
No, it wasn't Eddie. Eddie wouldn't have said that.
Oh,
but
man.
the guy who said that, I'll tell you guys afterwards. But
Oh,
the guy
don't
who
be
said
a
that would have gotten slaughtered
Whoa.
by both of us.
Just say it. Just say who said that.
The guy who said that would have gotten absolutely slaughtered by both of us.
Well, it's always somebody that wouldn't win the battle in the first place that has to have the loudest opinion, wouldn't it?
It's such a like a nerd in high school. You think you can go up against Billy? Yeah, I think I can freaking beat this guy. I can. But I deserved to lose that day. He deserved to win, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, this is the first thing you said when you sat down too, and we're sitting here thinking Anthony is the one who lost because he's so mad about this.
No, I'm like it's like a football game. I buried it and I'm on to the next.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready for the next one. You know?
That's what Josh Jacobs said too.
We'll get into that in a sec too.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Ted Bundy said too. I buried him on to the next one.
There we go, Andrew, bringing up old white serial killers. Nice, timely reference. All right, you could have brought up the Atlanta Falcons linebacker for me a couple months ago.
It's a part of the public
no, we
lexicon.
moved on to your running back now. We don't need to talk about James Pierce. We got Josh Jacobs now. So get this out there as well. Is there a next opponent for the both of you? Do we know who is going to be the next one up there on stage?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
There's rumors.
There's rumors circling.
Like him and Tyler, because Tyler O'Brien's 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
So they've talked about him going up against Tyler. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
that to me that's too easy. I'm not scared of Tyler. Like I was worried about you because you're like older and you're like you'll sit and like you'll this dude like
because I'm older. It's not because I'm
let's just get the champ.
Well, that has it all encapsulated. You did comedy 12 years ago for a month and then quit, so you've been doing it longer. It was a good battle though, and I think I wanted to bring him in here so that we can recap this because it was a lot of psychological warfare and a lot of like hoopla and a lot of. We really tried to get the community in on this and get people to pick sides. So I'm glad people were texting in and had Andrew as their favorite. I'm glad that they lost their bets. You know,
It didn't sound like it at all.
No, but ultimately, it was good that people enjoyed it. Hopefully, because I mean, it felt like we had a great battle. It felt like all of our jokes were great. It wasn't like a super one-sided battle as we've seen in the past. You know, it felt like what he and I set out to do several weeks ago, where we shook hands and we hugged and we're like, dude, let's just make this a good battle. And then we started acting like we hated each other. Sorry, inside baseball guys, but
it's all work.
Yeah, I hate him a little bit, but not really.
Well, he hasn't looked at him once since sitting in here. You know,
I can't turn that way. I'm too fat.
Yeah, that's exactly how I saw it. It was like I told you guys when I came in, I was like, I just want us to put on a good show.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's going to be close. I didn't walk around going, I'm going to destroy Anthony. I knew that I could hang. Like that's basically what it was. And I thought the night of, I thought it was going to be like 50-50. I wasn't that nervous. A comic in the green room also pissed me off. Eric Lopez, I'll say his name.
Yeah, I know what he said.
Because he just kept all day was like, dude, Anthony's pretty good, man. Because he had beaten Eric like a couple at the last roast.
Right.
And he's like, Anthony's good, man. Are you worried? No, dude, I'm not worried. I got there. I had a stomach ache. He's like, does your stomach hurt because you're worried? No, man. And then I walked into the green room and I picked up the lineup.
He just wanted somebody else to lose to him.
That's what it was.
So he can sit there and
He's
say,
like,
see, he's that good, isn't he?
Justify me losing by so much.
Oh,
No.
Lord.
And he go at one point, he said it so many times. Are you serious, man? What's happening? And he goes, I'm just saying Anthony's pretty good. And I said, yeah, compared to you. And then I felt really bad immediately after I said that.
You took a joke. You took a joke too personal. He was messing with you. I feel like
I know, but he put me in an unwinnable situation. And if I get put in an unwinnable situation, I'm just gonna say the mean things.
I'm gonna bark. I'm gonna go.
Don't put me in a corner, bro.
I'm like a Shih Tzu in the corner, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Well, now that we have you both in the building in the same room, we can go back to the original conversation we had before the roast on who was writing the jokes.
Oh yeah, we can get this out of the way as well.
Well, you guys saw my Instagram, right? I had 6 collective writers,
Right,
all with
ghostwriters.
Emmys and Oscars, and that's what I used. And I actually had a call in from Tony Hinchcliffe, who gave me a couple tags.
No George Floyd.
Colin Black. That's what Tony Hinchcliffe said.
And surprisingly, you were the only one to make black jokes that night too.
I did make a black joke. I did make a black
Afterwards, the judge called Andrew racist.
But he said that and it was a black guy, and he said he thinks it's good, it's okay to be racist when it's funny, and he said it was funny, so he was completely.
So he gave you the pass,
and then he voted for Anthony.
It was funny to make. It was funny to make a black joke for a Mexican comic. So there's.
It was good. It was a good joke.
Well, as long as it lands, that's all that matters, man. Did you guys find one of your jokes went too far with the crowd at all, or no? No, not one.
Never.
That's good. I like that because there's a table that looks at one and just says, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that," and it's like that ruins the vibe for everybody.
Well, that's what ruined the last roast on Netflix. Was they're still battling through that, but throughout the night, I mean, both coming from other comics, how was the other battles?
Well, to address the first part of the thing, I feel like people. No, it wasn't anything offensive, but more like I've been trying hard to write roasts differently now and to make them, because I do a lot of that whole, like, I was starting a lot with the whole personal stuff where it's like, yeah, your mom this, you're gonna die soon, you had suicidal thoughts once. Like, when you joke about those things, yeah, it's dark, yeah, it's twisted, yeah, I may get a reaction, but it's not the funniest thing you can say, you know. And what I've learned doing these last few battles is, like, if you just joke or accentuate a feature that everybody in the room can see, that was my tactic. You know, I was like, I don't want to joke anything about no one can see in this room. I just want to joke about Andrew's big head. And that's essentially what I did. And I did a lot of that and less of the whole it was talking about the joke. I'm not calling you a big head right now, okay, Andrew?
There's a little bit. I'm telling you, there's a little bit of.
All I'm saying is he had to stretch out those headphones before I put them on.
I'm looking at the camera. I wear 7 1/4.
I'm gonna have both of you
for the
hug
record,
at
guys.
the end of this, just so you know. We need proof the two of you don't hate each other right now.
No, we're just good at radio. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
And comedy, and the videos before leading up to it, where I was cracking up, man.
Oh, dude, it was like pure everything, dude. Like I interviewed him first on the podcast just so we could talk about it, just so I could put that clip of him eating crap with that joke on my podcast. I don't know if you guys watched it, but the first clip of my new podcast was him telling a joke that he'd tell the roast that was just so bad.
Oh,
and then, and
for the record, this is the second time you said that joke was bad on the radio. The second we turned off the microphones and went outside, he told me the joke was funny. By the way,
I thought it was.
It wasn't that good of a joke.
Plate in a boot.
See, the ghostwriters are at it again.
That was the one you got it all wrong too.
By the way, I didn't get to answer that question. Thank you for asking, Sparky. I wrote every word of every joke that I said on stage the other day.
Hey, if I wrote 95% or if I wrote 25% of my jokes, I still came out with a W. Okay, so even if I'm in debt for having to pay a few writers, I think it's okay. I think it's okay that I won.
You heard it here first.
This is true. The real question is, if you win a third time, are you taking on Nathaniel?
No, he's retired.
Oh,
how's he
shenanigans!
Retired? He's like 19 years
Shenanigans.
old.
You could pull him out of retirement.
He's 22, and I think it would just be boring if one of us in town went against him. Like it would not be as funny.
You're just afraid of him.
Well, I've talked to Rivers.
He didn't mention it. We talked about it after that interview. I was the other guy that beat him with Trevor. I was one of the first people that beat Nathaniel in this room that no one saw. And I still talk about it to this day because no one saw it.
And Trevor?
And Trevor. He did.
I still have jokes about Trevor and Nathaniel in my phone from 2023.
I'm just saying, he's come in here and said he's the king of all of this, and as much so as he now judge. So,
but to me, I'm like, Nathaniel is like, he's in his own separate league. So it's like I don't even want to go against him, and and he's like my good buddy. So it's just like I'm not even scared. It's just like it doesn't seem like a good fit, like a good battle. Like at this point, you know,
I got you.
You're looking at me like
I'm just ribbing
like I'm
you,
dodging
man.
a fight or something. Like
it's all good, just ribbing you.
I'd do
ribbing me.
I'd do it.
Yeah, but
we all know, like, Conor McGregor was like, you know what? I shouldn't face Jose Aldo. You know, right? Like he hasn't lost in 9 years. No, it's Jose.
No, it is Jose.
It's Jose. I watched this quite a bit.
I made that mistake when I first started watching UFC.
Yeah, he's not from Buttonwillow.
Trust me, it's Jose.
He's from
no way,
Rio de
Jose.
Janeiro. But yeah, Nathaniel's great at it. But I would probably say yes.
I just added. I'm with Sparky. Like the kid's too young to sit there and say he's in retirement from all of this. We have to see it up close. If he's good, we got to see it.
He hasn't retired. I mean, he wrote a lot of the jokes you saw on the stage the other day. So he's just in a background role, you know, and none of mine, but he has
to double down and make sure no one thinks it.
He was really funny as a judge, though. He said a joke about there was Brian Hernandez and Atticus.
Mhm.
And he said they look like the homeless guy and the dog that's in his shopping cart.
Yeah.
And if you saw these two guys, it was a very, very good show.
Well, I mean, when we talked to Nathaniel, that's what he had mentioned. He said, I have more fun being able to be the judge and roast on everybody.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like if we pull Nathaniel to do a battle against one of us, it won't be as good as if he was judging.
He's a very good judge.
We're gonna be left with me as a judge up there, not with no zingers, Danny Castro, half drunk. It's like it's gonna be us like kind of like trying to scrape together some roast. But that's just like that's why I'm saying he's in his league because he can judge and do that part. It's like no worth bringing a judge down to come do a battle.
Take the fun part away from it.
And he's like so good at that it's no point in taking him out, you know. But if we had other people in here, dude, I think it'd be.
It's like having killed Tony without Tony. Come on.
I totally understand that. I'm just saying this kid is as good as he claims to be, and someone's gonna take on the champ at some point.
I think if someone takes him on, it has to be someone from another city, and which is what I told us now in this in the scene here. It's like, all right, we've got a couple battles against each other. We should really. This is where it is because the whole point of roast battling is doing it against people you don't know and randoms and stuff like that. That is like a huge challenge of it. So if we went against another city, then I'd like to see us all kind of like, you know, go against other people. But if it's just us, you know, circle jerking.
I mean, that goes back to like you've been mentioning on the open mic nights that you guys have gotten a lot of people out of, you know, Fresno, LA, the people that are driving down. Maybe how we can work that out, where we can line up some Bakersfield against Fresno or something in these roast battles.
Fresno guys suck.
Well,
it would work the theme of Fresno versus Bakersfield, but the comics in Fresno, I'm not scared of any single comic in Fresno roast battle. Like,
yeah, I don't think it would be particularly close.
But I could be worried about like the best of Bay Area or the best of LA because that's like fools you don't know and it really surprise you, but. Half the time you book these people from 5 hours away and they cancel the day of. So you wrote jokes for 3 hours, 5 hours, and they show up and you don't even use them. So.
I keep hearing about that, and that would drive me nuts.
That's originally why roast. I was like, dude, I'm not doing this because like 3 different times I would spend hours writing jokes and they'd get a flat tire the day of and quit, and so it's really like it's annoying, like a really big waste of time.
I could totally get that.
That was why he and I were able to put like both of us tried. Really hard. Like we prepared quite a bit for this thing. And if one of us backed out, the other one would have been so annoyed. Because of how much time you put into it. So that would suck.
Yeah, my writers almost didn't show up. So
I know. Dude, he would have spent all that money for nothing.
Thousands of dollars.
For the record,
hundreds.
That's fun to play with, but he still deserved to win, and I'm not taking anything away from him. Listen,
I
don't want anybody.
I know what your little white ass is doing.
I don't want anybody to think that I'm doing sour grapes.
This is so backwards right
now.
You
know what he told me after the battle? He's like, usually the louder one always wins. I'm not saying that's what you won, but you were louder.
Well, no, I was pissed because this dude, he screamed his first set. And part of my strategy was I was gonna try to like go above his energy in the second set. And if I went above his energy in the second set, I probably would have been like taken out for noise ordinances. So like, and once again, I said with the caveat, that's not the reason you won, but I was like, you bastard.
No, I think that's a good point though. It's not necessarily the loudest person. I think it's the person with the most energy.
Yeah,
this battle got so technical that I had to think about my delivery. I like normally I would just like, I'll just go up there and talk. But this was the type of battle where I get, you guys know this. I got a theater degree, and Andrew joked about it while I was on stage.
Yeah.
I had to go back to my acting days. I got into the mindset of hating this dude. I didn't want to look at him day of. I didn't want to talk to him week of. I barely wanted to talk to him the month of. Like we went on a couple road trips, and he ended up using information I told him on the road trip as a joke. And I'm like, this is what internally we were building this freaking thing in our heads. And I brought it up earlier, but I feel like it paid off. That battle was freaking good, dude. And it was even the day after, like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, just stop, like get over it. The battle's over. But like it was so adrenaline rushing, like being up there and not only headlining, but like having the battle be where it's like, dude, he came out first with the fire first round. And that's why I was like, okay, I gotta like step it up and shout my jokes or like really come in like hard. And again, that was all the technicality of this. And that's not even including all the whole interviewing and us talking crap on the radio, talking crap at open mics, talking crap in DMs. Like it's all of this just to get, and I think it all paid off. So I think that's what I learned most about this battle, and it was good to do it against this guy.
He brought me up on Thursday so many times, and every single time I made sure to have a roast joke about him when I went on stage. And then I came in here and I talked about him wearing a faja, a girdle, because I knew that all I had to do was plant that seed, and I would just. He said he prepared for me to talk about it on the air. And it obviously, like, he got in my head because he told me that he was gonna be throwing me off and cheating and like all this stuff. And I was like having to, there were brief times where I was like, what the heck is this guy gonna do? And so it all worked. But then the cool thing about it is it all just came down to the jokes. Like that was the battle. Like we kind of canceled each other out and trying to get into each other's head, and it came down to just a pure roast battle.
Absolutely.
And,
He literally brought up my faja on the radio, and I went and wrote 3 rebuttals for like faja jokes, like just in case. If you guys know what a faja is, the waist trainer, fat guys and fat women wear it, Mexicans. And
I'm just laughing that he's actually saying he wears one. Why are you agreeing to that?
Oh, you really haven't seen my act.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
I look.
Oh, there it is.
Listen, if we didn't have things like comedy's about talking about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's about talking about our bowel obstructions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we've got Anthony Jauregui, Andrew Idell. What other shows you got coming up? I know it's open mic night. Is that still as scheduled?
Yeah, so I'll plug open mic night, and he has a fun one to talk about next Saturday in Springville that we're all doing together. But again, open mic night, guys, free Thursdays. If you come out tonight and say you saw us at the roast battle, I'll buy you a cookie.
Cookie. I knew somehow, some way,
Where
the
and when
cookies
will
would
the
make it
video
in.
hit?
Sorry?
Where and when will the video hit?
It'll be on YouTube, and I think it's just like when they get the editing, and like it's like a 50 gig like video that has to get edited and stuff. So, but it should be out within like the next week or two, you know, and you'll see us like sharing it and stuff. But
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You'll
Okay.
see him sharing it, I promise.
come out to the open mic free. Again, me and Andrew will be there, and a lot of great comics, and it's gonna be a fun time. And then Andrew, I think we have a show next week.
Yeah, we've got a show June 6th in Springville, California. I am hosting, and then I'm bringing down Jauregui, David May, and Nathaniel. It's 3 of my favorite guys in Bakersfield, and I've never put together a show, but this is going to be a lot of shows you see that aren't at clubs or like bar shows. This one, my friend has a studio that I'm putting together, kind of just making a comedy club for the night, because bar shows are cool and they have their place in comedy. They're crucial, all that stuff. I'm not trashing them, but you also have a lot of like, you go to a bar show and there's a lot of stuff going on in the back, or you go to a pizza place show and they're going like, Andrew, your pizza's ready, like during when people are doing stand-up, and
Kids crying.
Yeah, exactly. There's like
You're not my daddy.
There's a birthday party at the comedy show, you know?
Yes.
And so that's not what you're gonna get here. Go to my Instagram, at Andrew Idell, AndrewIdell, and it's the link in the bio. Take you to the event, right? Grab tickets. It's a really cool comedy show that, unless you go to the Well, you're not going to get an experience like that around.
Where the hell is Springville?
It's right above Porterville.
Okay, so it's close.
Yeah, my hometown's Porterville, so it's like probably an hour 20 from here in Bakersfield.
Sweet.
But if you're in the area or know anybody in the area, it's gonna be a really good show.
21 and over, 18 and over, all ages.
21 and over. Thank you
Sweet.
for asking.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Fantastic. Can't wait to hear about that one as well. And then obviously the sports story of the day that we have to get to before we let you go.
Center.
I mean,
Sit?
Yannick Center as well.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I don't know if you saw
no,
that.
yeah, let's talk. I just sent it to the early bird special Instagram. Sinner Yannick Sinner just got kicked out of, not kicked out, but he lost Roland Garros second round against Cerandulo in Argentina.
Is that
You know
how
who
you
that is?
pronounce his last name?
Cerandulo, yeah.
I know it was Cerundolo or whatever, but that's
Cerandulo,
crazy.
Yeah.
18 of the last 20 points.
Crazy. He dropped the last 3 sets and he won the first 2 like really easily. And it's crazy, especially because now that Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner are both out of the what is this?
French Open.
The French Open Grand Slam. We might see someone go in there and win it, like Alexander Zverev.
Is Shelton still going?
Shelton. Yeah, he usually chokes towards the end.
I know. That's why I asked. But now that
yeah.
Sinner and all the good guys are out of the way, you might as well.
Hey, maybe
the other American.
I'm sure you might get Shelton or like Fritz. TFO will probably choke in the. Yeah, he'll probably get to the quarterfinals or something. But it's gonna be. I'm excited to see who's gonna be actually winning this thing. Not Josh Jacobs, that's for sure.
You're making Sparky fall asleep.
Oh, sorry. You guys talking tennis still?
He's just looking at the back and forth saying, "Oh God."
They brought up tennis, and I saw me and Andrew like, okay.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like,
hey, usually when I come here alone, you guys are liking what I say, but
Look,
today
I initially was saying
he's
Josh
tennis
Jacobs. He's the one that brought up Yannick Sinner. Don't get mad at me.
You said it. You said Sinner.
I just know when we took a break, that was the headline. So
I was talking about Josh Jacobs.
I don't know who
Josh
Sinner is. If
Jacobs.
you put 20 tennis players, I wouldn't be able to pick them out. But
that's fine for our one listener, the guy from the Racket Club. That was for him.
yes.
Right?
Thank you, Mark.
Thoughts on Josh Jacobs getting arrested and all this stuff going on?
I'm just going to say what the Packers organization said. They want to know all the facts before they make a decision. So that's my thoughts at this time. Thank you.
Anthony wants to know what she said first.
Exactly. I texted my dad. He said, "What'd she do?"
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's where I'm at too as a fan. Like, I really hope there is more to this story, because if he was a closet POS this whole time, like, oh, that's
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's always been kind of. I mean, I like him. He's low key.
He was a Raider, so
no, that's what I said too.
Learned a lot from the Oakland franchise,
he was a good buddy of Henry Ruggs. So I know that he's like.
Were they at Alabama at the same time?
Yeah, and they were at in the Raiders, and I know that he's like, yeah. That was
I was
boy,
thinking about that when he got arrested. I was like, Nick Saban's got a lot to talk about here.
Maybe this is his way to get back into jail with his true love and not be playing football anymore.
I mean,
I also feel like
Henry's getting out though.
You guys were talking about how was it Halliburton that was saying that flopping is part of
it's being coached
player development? I feel like domestic violence is the same in NFL.
Oh my God.
Fact, Jack.
It used to just be a thing in handball, and now it's made its way.
That's what Tyreek Hill's doing this offseason.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Will Levis sex tape?
Oh my gosh.
Look, brother, these are the stories that I didn't know were cycling the internet until yesterday.
When
and
you
I said Will Levis's mom talking about this and said, "Why is your mom?"
Did you find it?
If I,
be honest, you've been out there for 30
I
minutes.
saw I don't know if you guys saw the original where he's getting a BJ and I don't know if you guys saw that. That was like. I'm sorry, we can't say that in the radio.
No, you can say it. Just don't elaborate.
I don't know what your guidelines are.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Anyway, Will Levis has a great
Anyways, we're running out of time for Andrew Idell and Anthony Jauregui.
Finish the rest of that at the open mic tonight at the
Absolutely.
Well Comedy Club.
My God, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Is that
both of you.
mayonnaise? Or are you just happy to see me, Will?
I mean, I don't. You're like
Bye.
for being the winner of the roast battle. Anthony is on one today.
Yeah,
I
I
thought you were
love
going to
it.
come in good spirits, all happy. He's angry at the texter.
Those listeners that called in, tell them I love them very much.
Meet me
Give
at
him
the
my
merch
number.
table.
Tell him
Thank
I'll
you.
send him the $5 later.
Oh, Lord. Gentlemen, thank you so much. One more time, if you want to go out to the open mic at the Well, what times it start?
Door 6, show 7. Come say hi. We'll be on the patio.
And
Next weekend show.
Yes, next
Andrew?
weekend show.
Yeah, next weekend show starts at 7, doors 6, same in Springville, June 6th.
And tickets are available on your Instagram,
on
correct?
my Instagram, yeah.
Fantastic. So go out, look for Andrew Idell's Instagram, go buy up those tickets, and go see the fantastic foursome that's going to be out there in Springville. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll see you. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Answer, we'll see you very soon, my friend.
I'll be
Let's take a
back.
break. We got Bolt Brady coming up on the other side of this break. This is the early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Want to thank Andrew Idell and Anthony Jauregui for joining us at the beginning of the 8 o'clock hour. Although that's
They're
all
hilarious,
Andrew.
dude.
I had to look at Anthony and be like, "You mad at me or something?"
I wish I could share
Saying
the
angry.
clip Chris Flail sent me yesterday. That one
yeah.
made my day, dude.
The one that you sent
This
me.
guy is. I can't wait for Flail Friday. He'll be back in studio tomorrow. But before then, we've got our boy, Mr. Bolt Brady from the BLEAV Network.
Cannot wait to talk about Game 6. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas.
First, before we get onto the Western Conference Finals, your thoughts on the absolute collapse of my Cavaliers?
Oh, there's just one word, and that's embarrassing.
Thank you. Thank you. And
I
look,
mean,
now, my second question to you, Bolt.
yeah.
Who is to blame? Who is the main person to blame?
Coach.
Look, we've said on this show, multiple people are to blame, but in your mind, who is the main person that's at fault?
I just think James Harden was terrible.
Thank you.
I think the coach is horrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Kenny Atkinson was awful
Yeah,
down the
I mean,
stretch.
The closest they got was 13 points. Every loss was at least by 13 points. I mean, and that last game was just horrible. But what's nuts is the elimination game for the Knicks this year. They've averaged beating the teams by 33 points.
Oh no, they're on a tear. I mean, Sparky said it beautifully, I believe yesterday or Tuesday. This is a team of destiny right now. They are absolutely playing out of their mind to potentially win this final.
I've been on the fence on, what team could match up with the Knicks. I mean, we've seen they run through the East and they got a little lucky this year not having to play, the team that usually knocks them out in Boston.
Yeah.
But, ask me a month ago, I'd be like, oh, they can't stand. I mean, they can't play against the Spurs or the Thunder, but call me crazy, but I'm going to roll with the Knicks this year, man.
Well, let me give you a stat that kind of backs it up. So they've won 11 straight games going into the finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's only 3 teams that have done that have won at least 11 games going into the finals in the past. And it's the Lakers 1989 and 2001, and then the Warriors 2017. And only the 1989 Lakers lost in the finals to Detroit 4-0.
Right. And honestly, the way that this playoff run has been for them, it couldn't have come at a better time, or really just at a more pivotal time for the franchise. They were just talking about how this city was about to implode on itself. The NBA needed the Knicks to come back to some sort of relevancy. I, as a Cavalier fan, I will agree with you. I was incredibly embarrassed by the way we lost, but I'm glad it's the Knicks and not somebody else.
Yeah, no, the Knicks being in it, I mean, there's a lot of energy there. I mean, watching all those games at Madison Square Garden's awesome. So to have the finals there,
it's going to be incredible. It really is. Now, let's shift to the West, though, because this series has been incredible to watch, even though there's been gripes for both teams here. What have you seen through the first 5, and what do you expect here in Game 6?
Well, I really think that what's the demise of the Spurs is De'Aaron Fox. He's just horrible.
He hasn't been the same point guard he was in Sacramento.
Yeah, and even in Sacramento that last year, he was kind of starting to lose it a little bit. But I mean, like last game, he was 4 for 15, 0 for 4 from 3 ball, 9 points. And the thing about him is I think he still thinks he's the number 1 option.
And honestly, that's going to be a really rude awakening when they inevitably put Harper in at the starting point.
Right. Yes. That's what they need to do. So, and then of course, Wemby, I mean, he came out, like a beast, averaging 20 rebounds the first 2 games, but it was nutty. The last 3 games, he's only averaged 6 rebounds.
And from what I've seen, I mean, they look fatigued, man. They look tanked.
They do, but the energy of your home crowd can definitely crank things up.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought, but I don't know, man. I mean, if you look at the stats and you look at everything, you would think the Spurs are up. But I mean, just going into this, do you think? I don't know the line right now. I'm sure you do. So going into Game 6, who's favored? And do you think we see a Game 7?
So the Spurs are favored by 3.5, and the money line's 150. And yes, I do think we'll see a Game 7. And then in Game 7, then they're going to get spanked.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of as well. Because you're right. I mean, at home, you can get that energy back, but that's not going to save you from a Game 7 situation. That's why I was saying the other day, Game 5 was pivotal for them to win.
Yeah, what you'll find of many years of me watching these games is, of course, OKC is going to try to win the game. I mean, they want to try to get this over as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But what I found is that when these teams start to fall behind a little bit, let's say OKC gets down by like 10 early in the third quarter, they're just going to, almost shut it down and just go, we'll take this home and try to win it.
Absolutely.
And that was the part, I mean, in Game 5, it seemed like when OKC was up, 10-13, they didn't go back to what is working, which is running that offense through Wemby, getting him in the key. It seemed like they were just, shooting threes. Let's see if they, we can get hot.
Right. And Wemby's the one that's got to score for them to win.
Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts on the NBA kind of slapping Wemby on the wrist saying he can't skip media anymore?
Well, I totally agree with that, right? I mean, one of the reasons why they get paid so much. What was interesting is in April, he actually won the Magic Johnson Award, which is the award from the Basketball Writers Association for excellence on the court and grace dealing with writers and fans.
Mm-hmm.
So they like him, but him bailing out, that was kind of weak, I thought.
I don't know if it was just a moment of weakness or if it was just one of those situations where, as an athlete, you just lost a game pretty handedly and you really just don't want to deal with anybody's questions.
You're going to be the face of the NBA. You're going to have to adapt to that.
Yeah, that I agree with 100%. So with your prediction, you're seeing a Thunders and Knicks final. Obviously, we'll talk to you next week here as that gets started. But how far do you think that series go? Are we looking at a game or a 6-game, 7-game, or do you think that gets wrapped up quickly?
I think with I think it's going to go 6 or 7, but I don't see either team losing on their home court.
Mm-hmm.
The one stat that I really like about OKC is they typically don't play well on the road. And then the last 3 seasons, when they've come back after a loss, they're 11-2 straight up and 10-3 against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll be looking for is them losing in New York and then coming back and playing at home.
So going into that, say OKC does pull it off and they play the Knicks. It looks like Knicks will have a week of rest considering if they go 7 games. I mean, does that long rest benefit the Knicks? Obviously with, fresh legs, but we've seen in other series, when there's a long period of resting, they come out a little cold. And I mean, the game 1 of the Cavs and the Knicks, I think the Cavs were up 20 before falling apart in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Do you think this will have anything to do with the finals matchup?
Well, historically, teams coming off 7-game series and having to go into the next one. So like, let's say example, OKC, they don't do very well that first game, but OKC, I'm pretty sure, is going to be at home for that one, which would make it different. So, yeah, the Knicks would probably be a little rusty, but I think that they will take resting their legs over anything.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, especially with the road that they've had. I mean, I'm one of those people that'll initially say if you have a long break, especially during the playoffs, it usually doesn't work out for you. But the Knicks have shown multiple times now that it has worked out for them. What do you think that they need to do, though, to really combat the biggest issue that people have come across while playing the Thunder, which is the foul calls? Is there anything the Knicks can do to really circumvent that
Match
and
it with
find
Brunson?
a way? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Brunson kind of does it a little bit too. He's just not known for the foul baiting, but he'll get him up in the air and kind of fall down as well.
Well, my last question I wanted to bounce off you is, in a gambling situation, I would expect, OKC, if they pull it off and they play against the Knicks, they would be the favorite to win. Not only is because they're returning champs, but they're the number 1 seed coming out of, which I believe, a tougher conference. But if you're gambling and you're looking at, okay, well, I'm going to take the underdog with the Knicks, is it a better bet to take the series win or take it game by game?
That's a good question. So if you actually rolled it over, and each time the Knicks won, you just doubled up. If you thought that they were going to do well, that that'd be a more advantageous way to do it. But I personally kind of like to get a feel for the first 2 games or so, and then maybe do a series bet after that.
Fantastic. I mean, that was something that we had talked about yesterday, because it seems like going for the whole series would have a bigger payout, would it not?
Yes, it would if you put it in before it starts, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it would make sense if you're looking for the bigger payout, obviously you would go that route. I don't know. I'm like Spark though, where I have to look at it game by game. If there's something that goes wrong in the middle of the series, I'm gonna hate my bet right away. There's no way I'm gonna be able to stick with it. So
right. Well, it's interesting because typically the teams win at home, so I guess you'd have to ask yourself, if you like the Knicks, do you think that the Knicks can pull off a game in Oklahoma? Because if not, they're already down 0-2.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a big factor going
Well,
into the
I do the same
finals.
bet. I mean, in football, which is a stupid bet, but as a Dolphin fan and living in California, which I will run out, my brother lives out in Henderson, so he's close to Vegas, and I'll look at the overall win-loss record before the season starts. And you know what I mean? It is anything. It's not really a gambling bet. It's more of, let's put some fire under the season and
having
see
faith in your team that they're going to go over what Vegas thinks.
And which right now they got us at 3 games. I'm like, oh God, we play the Jets twice and we play the Raiders. Give me the over.
Is it only at 3?
Yes.
Oh Lord, you guys are over 3.
I would hope,
We'll
but
see.
hey, you never know. We don't
true.
really have anybody that no one knows. So
This is true, but at that point, we'll see what happens in the NFL as they closely approaches. And
yeah, baby,
obviously can't wait to get to football season and hear all of Bolt's fantastic picks as the NFL approaches. But sir, we have run out of time, and we will talk to you next week as the finals get started.
Take care, fellas.
Thank you, sir. Let's take a break real quick, my friend, and we will get to the final stories of the day. We do have a wrestling story that we want to get to. As if you guys listen to Busted Open, I try to whenever I can on XM Radio. They have a fantastic slate of shows. Jonathan Coachman is one of the hosts of that show, and he and Tommy Dreamer got into an interesting conversation about how the WWE is handling its baby faces, and namely United States champion Trick Williams. And we'll get into that on the other side of the break. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Oh, welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. And if you're not following us on YouTube, you should be. You got to jump into this chat room with all the rest of these guys. Chris Flales actually jumped in there as well. Apparently, Howdy's been dodging a tennis match with Chris Flail for months.
I would see that.
Says Mr. Flail.
Maybe he's looking for sponsorships.
Maybe. Never know. But we'll have Chris elaborate on that tomorrow as he joins us on a Flail Friday, along with Kyle Pitzer, as we are ahead of another WWE PLE. Clash in Italy is this weekend, and where better place to watch it, man? The Dionysus Brewing. All those beers. It's going to start getting hot soon, so the slushies are going to be available. Well, they're already available, but they're going to be more available to you because you're going to want one. Trust me, this place gets hot as hell, and it is not fun to deal with at all. But let's talk a little wrestling before we get out of here with the last 2 minutes. Jonathan Coachman, Tommy Dreamer opened up about their thoughts about how Trick Williams is being booked right now in the WWE, and really the WWE's failure to book baby faces. Let's hear from them real quick.
I think Trick is a can't miss star. But we say all the time, if you misbook somebody, then that could ultimately hurt them.
Trick is a star. The fans are just going to turn and make you a babyface. And, oh, yeah, by the way, don't change a thing. And I think he's that charismatic. He's that guy. He still needs some seasoning in the sense of reps.
And they've attached Little Yachty, who's actually big in the hip-hop space. But I don't know if that's crossing over currently, Tommy, into the wrestling space.
The Little Yachty guy, in his world, he's big. In our world, he's not.
I think two big keys came from that soundbite. One, I think they're right. When it comes to booking baby faces, it's been really rough for the WWE lately. But I argue, Sparky, that it's because we find baby faces to be kind of boring now. Being good is boring. The world of America and just the society today, we glorify villains. There's a reason we have a Joker movie. There's a reason that these villains get more popular than their heroes. So in my opinion, that's really the problem they're running into. It's not their writing. It's our love for them.
It's like everyone waiting for Cody to turn.
Exactly. I mean, we're never going to be satisfied until that happens. We had John Cena turn, and people didn't like it. But hey, we had him turn. Why? Because everybody sees the baby faces aren't pulling in money like they used to. They're really not. Now it's all about the heels, man. It really is. Now, the opposite side of the coin, though, is what Tommy said at the end there. Just because you throw a celebrity in his lap doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help.
Lil Yachty's kind of growing on me, though.
He is, though. He's fantastic. I love him as a person, but it was the most random pairing then. It's still the most random thing that we're getting now. So maybe we should just allow Tricky to be Trick. Let's get out of here for the day. Join us tomorrow. Chris Bell and Kyle Pitzer. Sparky, let's go home.